The first time they called the police on me, I almost laughed. Imagine that, standing inside my own house, lights off, curtain drawn, while my family stood on the porch yelling, "She won't let us in!" as if my silence was a crime. The officers left when I showed them the deed. But the message was clear. My blood relatives saw my house not as mine, but as theirs. That was the night I stopped being their doormat. It hadn't always been this way. When I bought the house, keys trembling in my hand, I invited them in with pride. My first place, my sanctuary. I thought family would celebrate with me. And they did, at first. Cookouts on the weekends, sleepovers just for fun. But soon, their visits weren't invitations. They were expectations. We were just in the area. That was their excuse every Saturday. My living room became their lounge, my fridge their pantry, my time their entitlement. The first betrayal wasn't loud. It was a slow invasion. I noticed it in the details. My towels missing, cabinets rearranged, receipts for groceries I never ate. One afternoon, I came home early. My cousin's car sat in the driveway. Music thumped inside. When I opened the door, my own relatives froze mid-laugh, drinks in hand, as if I was the intruder. I didn't explode. I walked out, locked the door, and stood on the sidewalk until they filed past me one by one. None apologized. That was the day I realized they weren't visiting anymore. They were claiming. I kept quiet, observed. When I didn't open the door one weekend, they called the police. When the police left empty-handed, my family doubled down. "You're selfish," they spat. "You think you're better than us." That night, I made my decision. I wouldn't scream. I wouldn't beg. I would take everything back. Clean, precise, legal. The plan took weeks. Step 1, I rented the house to strangers. A corporate lease, ironclad, signed in my name. Reliable tenants, steady payments. Cameras installed, locks replaced, passcodes updated. Step 2, I waited. I knew my family would show up again, arrogant as ever. I wanted them to. The day came. A Saturday, of course. I was parked down the street, watching. My mother's car pulled up first, then my brother's. They walked up the porch like conquerors returning home. Knocked, rang the bell. No answer. Then, bold as ever, they tried the handle. But this time, the door swung open. And instead of me standing there, strangers appeared. My tenants. A young couple, polite but firm. "Can we help you?" I saw the confusion ripple across my mother's face. My brother stammered, This is our house." The tenants shook their heads. "No, this is our house. We signed the lease last month." My family stood frozen on the porch, realization sinking like lead. My phone buzzed within minutes. Calls, texts, rage spilling across the screen. "What have you done? How could you rent it out? Where are we supposed to go?" I let them burn. Finally, I answered, my voice calm. "You called the police on me for not opening my door, so I solved the problem. It's not my door anymore." The silence on the line was delicious. The fallout was immediate. Their weekend routine shattered, their entitlement gone. They couldn't barge in, couldn't rearrange my life, couldn't touch what was mine. They tried guilt, they tried threats. Nothing worked. The lease was legal, airtight. My house was no longer a stage for their dominance. It was a locked fortress. Do I miss them? No. Family isn't blood. Family doesn't force themselves into your home, call the police when you set boundaries, treat you like a trespasser in your own life. What I miss is the illusion that once I thought they would be proud of me, that my house would be a place for love. But illusions burn, and when they do, you see truth clearly. Now, when I drive past on weekends, I see my tenants' cars in the driveway. Laughter spilling from the windows. A life being lived, not stolen. And my family? They hover outside, powerless, finally on the other side of the locked door. Justice didn't come with fists or fire. It came with a signature, and the knowledge that the house they thought was theirs will never be again.